Hi everyone. I hope you're enjoying the music. Hi everyone. Good evening. Good evening wherever you're listening from, wherever you're watching from. I hope your day was not as stressful as mine. Mine was really hectic. I had a very hectic day and I've been battling with lights and at the same time I have I have malaria. I have malaria. Let me try and put on my oh my god. So we've been having light issues, guys, and I've been trying to, and I just got home from work and I'm currently ill. Okay, so let's get straight to why we are here. You're welcome. My name is Jane, your host for Recruiters Confession, and here, basically, what we do is we share insights, we share truths about hiring. If you are here, you're watching, or you're watching after the stream, you're welcome. And I'm ready to hear from you, ready to listen to you. And the main reason why we are here is because of you. Whether you're a job seeker, whether you're a candidate, whether you are preparing for interviews, whether you are a recruiter, whether you're an HR professional, whether you are anything, as long as you're a professional, this session is for you. Because I want to believe we are all candidates, right? We're all candidates, we are all job seekers. Because even me, I'm looking for a job. We're all looking for something that would boost our career, right? For career advancement. So last week, or let me say, since the beginning of this month, we've been talking about bias versus fairness in hiring. That has been our topic since the beginning of October. This is the last Thursday of this month. Yay! I wish there's like this bell. I'll just ring and say, hey! But I think we are going to work on that, ringing bells to ring on the last day and the last Thursday and the first Thursday of the month. Next week definitely is going to be a whole um, version of another topic entirely that has to do with recruiters, that has to do with candidates, burning topics, right? Topics that candidates actually or job seekers actually inbox me and say, this is what we are going to do. Please ask your people, what are HR professionals doing for us? Why is this happening, right? So that's the essence of recruiter's confession. Recruiter's confession is to make sure that we are able to tell the truth about what is happening and to be sure that you can hear me because I'm supposed to pause the music. All right. Let me just pause the music. I don't know if you can hear me. The music has been on. Okay, so guys, um, as I was saying, we've been talking about bias versus fairness in hiring, and this has been a very interesting topic. And because it's our last day here, we are just going to be doing a recap, right, of this session. So if you are here, you can drop your comments. If you are not here, if you are watching after the stream, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, Badmus Jane, ask your questions, and even post it on your LinkedIn, right? You can post it and tag me. As long as I see my name, don't worry, I'm here for you. I see my name, I tag other HR professionals or I answer you, right? So, as what is fairness? So, we've been talking as we're talking about fairness. We've invited the first session. I invited a job seeker who talked about his experience when it comes to bias, and because it's probably his tribe he has been having or he had issues with the interviewer because of his tribe. And then on that session, I was telling him that it may not be because you feel that the recruiter talked to you in a way, it may not be that that is what it is. Could be that you actually said something, right? Or it could be your voice or something. And with that experience, we were able to balance it. The next session, we had um, two HR professionals on this session talking about bias, talking about how recruiters can curb bias when it comes to interviews, right? It means having other interviewers with you. It means you trying to. We talked about the halo effect for recruiters and HR professionals. How halo effect affects us. It means that when we see a candidate, we're interviewing a candidate, and we see that candidate and we are like, oh, this first impression about this candidate that's either um made or broken the person, right? The first impression about that candidate, like okay, halo effect is that, or halo effect is that first impression about that candidate, that positive first impression, maybe nice set of teeth or fine face card. Gen Z's will say face card, or fine dressing, or eloquent speech, right? That first impression we have as recruiters about that candidate, and we say, oh, hmm, I like this candidate already, or this candidate has gotten the job. We have given you the job. Don't need. I don't even need to ask questions. So we got to know that when recruiters have that halo effect, it usually clouds our judgments, especially when it comes to making decisions, making hiring decisions. We also talked about the on effect, the on effect part of it, where you see or something is wrong with him maybe for that first impression, and you just conclude that, oh, this guy or this person or this candidate is not even getting the job at all, something like that. So those HR professionals talked about how we can curb it. And we also talked about, so task confession is for both recruiters, that's HR professionals, and the candidates or the job seekers or the non-recruiters, right? So we are balancing. It's a session or it's a platform where we balance equations. So as much as we talk about recruiters, we also talk about candidates, right? And that's why it is tagged confession, because all of our confession, they are insights, they are truths, they are secrets that you must know, either as a recruiter or as a candidate. We also mentioned that day that as a candidate, you also must try to, um, make a good impression, especially when you're coming for interview. Dress well. If you get there late, apologize. All of those things, tick all the boxes so that you won't have any reason. Because if you were in that position, you would feel the same way, right? So I don't have any reason to say, oh, they are being biased, right? So we said that candidates also should make sure that they make a very good impression. The following week, we talked about, that was last week, we had a very interesting person, Ayofe. And Folua talked about, um, we talked about recruiters, we talked about candidates, we talked about how much um, bias and fairness. We really hit the nail on the head regarding fairness last week. We're talking about how we can be fair when it comes to communication to candidates, when it comes to ghosting, when it comes to being clear, when it comes to transparency, right? Those are ways in which we can be fair. Those are ways in which we can be fair to candidates. Transparency, great communication as recruiters, and also when we have enough insights about a candidate from the onset, and we let the candidate have insights about the job, right? From the onset, that's transparency. Now, I asked Ayanfe that question, that what is one thing that you would change when it comes to the recruitment process, and she talked about communication. And I think that that is really one of the things that as recruiters we need to we need to really um, take seriously. That's one of the things we need to take seriously when we communicate with our candidates. When we are transparent with them from the onset, that is being fair. That is being fair, right? That's what we talk about when it comes to fairness. Communication, um, when it comes to the things that, so last week I told a story of a particular position I was hiring for, and there were a lot of um, what how do I put it now? There were a lot of things that must be in place for that particular position, and unrealistic goals, right? And I talked to her about how they were dropping because of the unrealistic goals. So that is where fairness comes in. Right? We must be fair. We must be fair enough to say, okay, did you yourself that you put down those goals, can you do them? Imagine a, an employer telling you that you have 6 million in a week. I, I'm not saying that we cannot make 6 million in a week. Of course you. But when it comes to a average level, an average salesperson, he has to get used to the system at least, right? Get used to the system, get used to the product, get used to the system, get used to how to sell that product before you can say, okay, I can make 6 million in a week. Not that first week you joined, you want to start 6 million. So what we talk about when it comes to fairness and also responding to candidates, especially when you know that the hiring process is going to be long. Now, Ayoshalua told us a story about a particular company she went to, and they had to ask them to, I think they had to ask them to prepare a lot of things. They were preparing stuff for the company, and she said that they later got to know that the company actually needed their input regarding some of their challenges, and after they prepared, they just ghosted them. There was no communication, there was nothing. So recruiters, if you're a recruiter and you're here, you're listening to me, please, there is such thing as being transparent. Process of that recruitment or of that hiring, please be transparent to your candidates. If you're not hiring again, there's a person the hiring, please be transparent. If anything is going on, please be transparent. If you want them to assessment, please be transparent from the onset that there's going to be an assessment, right? If you are not going to if you are not going to hire any candidates even after assessment, please be transparent. Reach out, communicate, and tell them, oh, we are sorry, you know that the English we put together. So last week, Ayafoluwa also talked about rejection, especially to candidates. So as a candidate, when you are being rejected, we want you to know that we do not um it doesn't affect who you are. Rejection is not does not, you know, it does not speak who you are. It does not devalue you at all. If you're a job seeker, you're a job hunter, you're a candidate, you're a professional, you're a human being, because I don't want to just say job seekers, right? It's a professional platform, but I want to believe that every human has been rejected one way or the other, right? So if you are human or a professional and you have been rejected one way or the other, either through jobs or relationship or anything, but here we're talking about jobs, right? So it does not devalue you as a person. Instead, pick up. So I don't used to believe that there is a pieces to pick up. I want to believe that nothing breaks you. So even if you tell your mind, or your mind tells you that you are broken, you are not. So there's, I don't believe that pick up your pieces, because You are not broken, right? No pieces, you are whole. So pick up your whole self and move on. Not just move on, try to think about it. What did I do wrong? How can I do better? Right? Because for every step in life, or for every situation, for every failure in life, there's always something to learn from. Yeah, there's no perfection anywhere. So there's always something to learn from. It's either what you said at the beginning, what you said at the middle, what you said at the end, or something, or you know, um, helping yourself when it comes to knowledge, upskilling, right, so that you can grow your confidence. Because one of the things that can grow confidence is when you upskill as a job seeker. We are going to be closing now. Yes, so this um, session, this particular today session, is just a recap of what we've had all month to the beginning of October, right? So by next week, we are going to do something much more interesting, something much more interesting. I'm going to put out a poll on LinkedIn of different topics. So different topics that we are going to treat for next month, right? So you guys are going to pick one of it. So it's that one topic that you pick, or that has the most pull, or that has the most what's it called? Um, that we are going to do it for the whole of November. So I want to give you guys a voice. I want to hear from you. What exactly has been the burning question, or has been the burning topic in the professional world, or in the recruitment world, or in the hiring world? What exactly has been burning inside of you? Want to talk about? So I want to hear from you. I'm going to put it out there so that you guys can pick, and that will be our topic for the month of November. So as I was saying, as a candidate, or as a human, or as a professional, rejection does not define you. Instead, let it modify your next interview or your next line of action. Pick up yourself and say, "Oh, what can I do better?" I used to tell people, do not say rejection. So last month of September, we hosted um, we hosted Agape. She's the founder of HR Newbies. I love her so much. We hosted her and she talked about rejection. She said that she doesn't even believe in that word, and I think I agree with her. I agree with her. I do not think I agree with her. I agree with her. She said she doesn't believe in that word rejection because nobody's rejected, or nobody was rejected, or nobody is being rejected. The fact that you were sent an email and said, "Oh, we want to move on," and all of that doesn't mean you were rejected. It just means that they got better candidates, right? And they have to pick just one, or maybe just two. They can't pick all of you, right? Maybe they were better candidates. Of course, there will always be someone better, or they made better choices, right? Which does not in any way undervalue you or devalue you, right? It only means that if you interview somewhere else, another company will see you and say, "Oh, this person is the best person for the job." Do you understand? So it may be that for that company, your skill or your knowledge is not enough for what they want. Does not reach that level of what they actually want. Do you understand? But that does not devalue you, right? It only gives you that opportunity to upskill. So please, as professionals, it is important that we upskill. Very, very important. Skill. How do you want to be confident, right? So upskilling actually helps your confidence level. So guys, that is the little I can speak on bias versus fairness in hiring. We are being um, we are being encouraged. I kind of lost the word right there. We are being encouraged to, you know, all of the things that enhances bias. Let us try and curb it. Let us curb it because what we are actually looking for is the right fit, and bias doesn't cut it. If you are being biased, you cannot get the right fit. It clouds your judgment, it clouds your hiring decision, it clouds so many things. You lose touch of who you are as human. You lose touch of your profession, right? You lose touch of being professional, which is really, really, really very important. We need to put our profession first, and then we'll be able to make the right decision. So let us try as much as possible to be fair. Of course, we've talked about how we can be fair. So try as much as possible to be fair. And to candidates as well, or to you that you're preparing for interview, do not just tag every recruiter as, oh, this person did this, this person is being biased, right? Make sure you as yourself, you upskill. Make sure you make sure you help yourself. Make sure you grow. Make sure you grow. Make sure you help yourself grow. Make sure you also you so that you won't say, oh, I came for interview and they rejected me or they did this. You have to improve yourself. Or I came for interview because of my intonation, they said I should go to do that. But because of my intonation, they didn't hire me. Yes, means that you also need to improve yourself. We talked about that last week also. Improving yourself as a candidate. Don't say because, oh, you are there and just be there. You need to improve yourself, especially for specific roles. Specific roles need specific skills. For example, you're an accountant and you don't know Excel, and you now say it's because of XYZ they didn't hire you. Do you know Excel? There are some important skills that you need to improve yourself on. That if you do not, you won't be hired, right? So you need to do your part, do your best, make you are able to make sure you tick your own boxes and say yes, confident enough to actually sell myself. So it is when you're able to do that, they say yes, very good, you are doing well. So whatever happens, you're able to stand your ground and say, oh, I'm fit for the role. And even if you are not hired, doesn't mean that another company will not hire you, right? So guys, come next week, Recruiter's Confession, same time, 7 p.m. Talk about another topic. And don't forget, I said that I was going to put a poll. I'm going to put a poll out of different topics. So you guys should pick which particular topic is burning right now. Which burning topic do you think or do you feel that we can treat in this session? We always invite HR professionals. We invite, I'm also looking to invite CEOs to let CEOs to come here and talk. We'll ask them questions. Hello, sir. Why is it that you people always do this to us? There is no work-life balance. Why is it that there is no emotional well-being? You know, guys, I saw a post on socials. I can't remember. I was in LinkedIn or Instagram. The the employee wanted a leave. I think she had an outbreak, and she just sent it that she can't come to work because of the outbreak. She won't be able to focus on work, and I think that this is one of the things that we need to pay attention to, the well-being of employees. So we want to ask CEOs to, what are you doing regarding employee well-being? What are your thoughts when it comes to productivity? All of these things, right? Which I think is important. We also invite so many job seekers, so many. What was your experience in this? What was it? So this session or this platform, the platform where people come, we share stories, we share truths, we share insights, and there's something big coming up. But I'm not going to announce it now. I'm going to announce it when at the end of the year. All right. So see you guys. Same time, same station, same time, same platform for this year. For this year. Same time, same platform. Recruiters Confession. I love you guys. Enjoy your night. We see next week. By next week, I'll be greeting you guys happy new month. But for now, happy end of the month. Bye, guys. Night.